So I just got home from work and I've got a few hours today to get some maple work done before I've got some family coming in town that makes it to where there's no maple work. And it's the middle of January and people are already making syrup, and really I need to be making syrup. So I got to get going, but I'm not ready. My woods isn't ready. I've got a few things left, nothing huge, but it's all time. And as everyone knows, work gets in the way of making maple syrup. So this morning I'm gonna make up some drops before I go to the woods. Still using the orange maple flex, but when I cut them, what I do is I run the pipe through a white, well, any piece of pipe, and then I run it over, and I've got a spot over my bench that I use for a mark, and then I cut it. And what it does is it makes it go straight, it keeps it from sliding backwards. I make my pile of drops, and then I put the teas on it. So get this done so I can get over to the woods. So drop lines are all cut. There's a pile there. I run 40-inch drop lines. What that does is, because I use the replaceable check valves, I don't use stubbies. It gives me that little bit of extra. So at the end of it, I'm still at 36 inches worth of drop, where if I didn't, I'd be down to 30-inch drops, and it's just, they're a lot shorter. I've run them before and they're just 30s are too tight. So do that now. I take my two-handed tool, put it in the vise, and then I can clamp the pipe in, drive the spout on, and it's easy. I throw in a pile. I'm gonna do the dead end teas first. That way I've got those, and then I can just make one big batch of the other. With the Max Flex, you're easier if you dip the tea in water. It slides on better. It doesn't, you don't have as many screw ups when you push it into the pipe, because this pipe bites so hard onto those teas. As I load the pipe, I load it to where the curl goes up. So you put it in with it up, hook it down, and then I take the tea and I'm gonna hold it up so that the pin is up and it goes in. So the pin's up and the circle goes in there. But first, dip it in the water, over, and on it goes. That way when it curls, it'll curl like that when it's hanging on it, and it won't want to, because if you go to the side, then it touches the tree, and we don't want that. So. Dead ends are done. Now all that's left with these, bundle them up so they don't get mixed in. I think I had 25 left in that bag of teas, so 25 plus whatever was left from the other day. I'll just make one bundle. Now, regular teas. So what I started doing is I was dipping the teas in the cup of water, and it was just cumbersome to get the right end to go in. So now I'm just dipping the pipe in to the water, and that seems to be a lot easier, so that I can make a little bit better time getting this done. They make a speedy drop line maker where it's kind of one unit, kind of does everything, cuts it, pushes it on with your feet. It's like Bowflex. It's like the total workout. But that's for those that are making a lot of drops. This works for what I do. That speedy drop maker, Nate Bissell, Bissell Maple Farm, he's on the YouTubes as well. He's got one. He made a video about it. I'll link it in the description below. So just go down below, click on Nate's videos. He's got some other tricks that he does that I don't do, and I probably do some stuff that he doesn't do. But make sure you check out Nate's channel. He's kind of a big deal on YouTube, and he has a sawmill. I don't. So that's it. So now I'll just make bundles of 50. That way they're easy to carry. Now it's time to load up and head for the woods. Hook up those two main lines, get everything put together, and then change drops for a couple hours. So it's like Christmas here today. We've got new saddles, because the leader saddles are hard to come by. So I'm gonna try the H2O ones. Because, well, why wouldn't you? But I wouldn't say I'm not overly ecstatic about them. There's a couple things that, looking at them from the outside, I think I like the liter ones better. But today will tell the tale if these are any good. So there's only one way to find out. So we got these. We'll try those today. But then this is where the real Christmas present is. Courtesy of the eBay. They were pretty gentle with it getting it here, so. This is my new vacuum pump for at home. It's a Liebold D8. I think that's what it's called anyways. Where's the thing? D8B. So it's about 6 CFM. My home woods is only about 170 taps, right around that number. So I was looking for something 3-phase that I could run off a frequency drive with a vacuum transducer. So vacuums at 28 inches, it idles the pump down, hopefully save me some power. So the frequency drive's not in yet, and I've got to order the some fittings that go with this. So this one probably won't be running the first day, but we get a cold day, I'll swap this pump in. But this should save some power. And as anyone knows, power bills, well, it's run by the mafia, and they just keep driving the bill up, and you can't do anything about it except for become more energy efficient. And I think that's their game, honestly. So we'll get this one in at some point. Not that great of weather out here right now. It's sleeting. It's probably like 30 degrees. I got some sleet in the eye hole on the way up here. That felt awesome when I was coming up on the four-wheeler, which having the four-wheeler back is a godsend because now this thing's my Sherpa, not me. But this is the new A1 line. The reason I'm going to change it is because when you go up the A system, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just makes it easier rather than like 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. So I'll switch it. I think it makes more sense to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that's just me. This pipe hasn't been tensioned yet. It comes in and then it goes down, and it's going to hook into the wet dry system right here. So I think I'm going to come in and probably end up tying in right here. But first I got to tension this pipe, so I'll get a Chinese finger thingy on it, pull it tight, and then get hooked in. I don't have my 1¼ inch stainless fittings yet, so up here I'm gonna have to hook. I'm just gonna leave my dry system off this for now. Once those come in, I'll come back up and I'll put the Y in, and then the Y over here, and get that dry connection in for the whip. But I'm not gonna do plastic. This one's got plastic on it and it's worked, but my ultimate goal is to get that changed out. All right, pipe's tension now. Now it's a matter of go up, and I've got one big turn. I'll pull the pipe in there. I've got my regular twist tie tool, but I've also got the jerk off tool. This one's a little bit quicker, but when I first start using it, I break more ties, which is a wicked pain. But this is all set. It's not quite ready to hook in. I'm gonna wait. I'll just tie it up, then I'll hook it in. Way up here, I'm tying up the wire, and I'm making some time getting this done pretty good, and I realize, oh crap, I forgot my drill to drill in the saddles. Okay, I'll get the wire tied up, then I'll come down and I'll hook up the main. Yeah, I forgot the mainline tool as well. So now I get to go back to the house. All right, back with the tools I needed. I also went to the hardware store and got some bigger hose clamps, because the ones that I had, I don't think were going to be big enough for 1 inch. And then on the wet dry, I like to double it up and run 2 on the wet dry, just so that it makes sure it doesn't come apart. So I'm going to start on the wet drying, get that Y cut in, and then I'll put a short piece on, come up to here, and put the valve in. So today, like a real genius, I'm missing the piece that goes in my screw gun to run the the tool back and forth. So I get to do this the old-fashioned way with a wrench, which is really awesome. So I cut out that piece that's the length of in between. Now we got to open it up. The drill is so much easier. So now this won't just go in, it's because this is 1-inch ID fitting and pipe, so what you got to do is heat it up so that you can open it up and you just kind of work it with your finger. That's hot, that's hot, that's hot. And now that fitting will slide in, so you got to do this side too. Goes in, make sure that that's going the right way. It's aiming towards the main line. And you just kind of work it in. Every now and then you just kind of manipulate it a little bit and it'll get it to go right in. There. That's on. Take the pressure off, main line tool, and there, now it's just some wire ties. Alright, there's that. Now, it's just a piece to go over there, so I'll get a short piece. I'm just going to use heat and shove it on there, and then the tubing tool will put the tension on it over there. You can get this pipe too soft though, and then it turns into a cluster. There. So now this main is hooked up. I just need to put from right here up to the dry line, but like I said, I don't have that stainless fitting, so this one's done. And close it when you need to. Open it, listen for a leak. H2O saddles. I've never put these things on before, but I know that in the book there is a whole system on how to do it. So I've got to go look at that up. Easy enough. Drill the hole, put the gasket on, put the wrappy thingy on around it, put the elbow in, put the screw in. I don't even think I can screw this one up. Right. Holes in. And a gasket. Wrappy thingy. It goes around and then it's got these little things there. No an elbow. I don't think it makes a difference which way it goes, so that goes down in. Maybe. Ow, that's not great on the hand. That's in. Now a screw. I'm already not a big fan of them. This shouldn't be this hard. Saddle. I prefer the leader ones, that's for sure. We'll see how these perform, but the leader ones I would have had 2 on by now. Way longer than it should have to get this main buttoned up, but it's done. I think there might be a little bit of work to do with pitch, getting the sap across here. It's just tough to tell. And then down here there's one little spot where I put it, it's got a little bit of a bend in it. I think I can work it out of it, just to make sure that the sap flows here, but I'll probably be able to get that with the when I put the whip on. But go up to the next one. There, all the pipes tied to the wire now. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna hook up that end, get the valve in place, and then I'll come back up and cut these saddles and get everything hooked together. Then I gotta go over, put saddles on the other side, and the one I hooked up the other day. We'll see how I'm doing on time after that, whether I cut these drops in today or, well, I should say change out drops. So I think I found the trick to putting these saddles on. So this is the same. You just make sure you're good. Drive your drill down in. Put your gasket in, and then you put the thingy over the gasket, make sure there's no ice there. Hook that. Now we get the elbow, and this is where I had the most trouble with, was getting this on, but I just take now and I just get it started, put the wire on top, and I force it down with the wire, and it goes right in. Now the screw. There, now using that wire to push that elbow down has really made me more efficient, and I'm not killing my hand like I was either. So I think that might be the trick, forcing that down on. Just use the wire, squeeze it, not a big deal. So I got done in there. All my saddles are hooked up on those 2 mains that are new, as well as the one I extended. I fixed another spot that had a saddle that came apart when a tree came down on the line. That's all set. So really, one more day in here for change drops. I've got one line that needs some posts to hold it up, and then it's time to tap. So maybe Wednesday? We'll find out. All right, H2O saddles. Jury's still out. I think I got pretty proficient at hooking them up. I could probably just as, well, probably not as quick as a leader saddle, but I definitely got it down to where it was a routine and not a huge deal. They will make your thumbs sore though, pulling those little bead things that hook on. those will tear into your thumbs a little bit. Once you figured out the trick on pushing the wire down, not a terrible deal. I don't like the swivel piece of it just because to me that's another spot that can leak, but they're not terrible. So jury's out. We'll see how they work actually during sugar in season.